My dad was a printer, security printing business tha unka. So he was also kind of an entrepreneur. When I was 12 years old, my dad passed away. So suddenly, like in a matter of hours, I came back from school and he wasn't, alive anymore. And my mother, housewife, BA graduate from St. Joseph's College, suddenly is left with 2 kids and this business that she knows nothing about. In literally 4 weeks, she became an entrepreneur and she turned the business around and grew it 10x. So that was one of the greatest benefits that I had, was every time I came home, I had an entrepreneur to look to. My first consumer experience was creating Somabar, SOMABAR, and it's basically was a robotic bartending appliance. It would make your cocktails and your mocktails in your home, and you have these pods, you fill whatever you have, you plug them in, you have an app, connects, you browse through the menu, it mixes everything, chills it and pours in your glass within seconds. Basically like a bartender for your home. Now, I made that in my kitchen, and the co-founder of the company was my roommate. So we built the stuff on our kitchen with $3,000 in our hands. Built the machine, went out, did our first round of investment, and first meeting we got the investment, because everybody kind of was in love with the fact that in the end of the day, the cocktails that we were making, they tasted really good. That was, that's where I realized that whatever you do, whatever product you make, it has to be good. That's the starting point. When you talk about startups and helping Pakistan, that word helping Pakistan is treated in a very charitable tone, which is not right. There is charity I think the time for charity is over. I think you have to create sustainability, and helping Pakistan means to help Pakistan for your own benefit. So you need to make money, you as investors need to make money, and when they make money, they put more money into the system. You cannot force capital to come into the startup world or fund new companies. You have to create such an environment that you automatically pull them. Like, I'll give you an example, the Kareem model, right? I buy 2 cars from my savings and I hire a driver and I'm doing my business and I'm working somewhere else, but I'm making extra profit on my savings where they would be in a bank. But in this model, a lot of people are getting more rides. The driver got a job, people are getting more rides. Kareem is making money, he's hiring more people. So that model is very important. What Pakistan 2.0 is basically an initiative that is profit driven, because it's very important to have profits, because that's how you sustain, that's how you get more people involved, that's how you make a change. Otherwise, it's charity, and charity only runs until the taps are flowing. We have these products, and we're building. We have teams around them, startup core teams. We are scaling each of them and investing into scaling each of them into actual companies that kind of run, start them up and bring them to a point, and then let them operate. And of course, then monitor their progress, help them meet on a monthly basis, or whatever, how you actually launch startups. So this fund that I'm creating, it's basically will comprise of partners, experienced serial entrepreneurs who actually want to kind of coach, and who are basically, obviously they do that for equity, and this fund will have equity in these startups, help fund their development, their growth, bring them to a point where they can actually attract investment on their own, and then they launch. All of them, the initiatives are to hire young graduates, fresh graduates from not top-notch schools, but any school. A dream for Pakistan 2.0 can only kind of take effect and grow and kind of be wheels in motion, where our middle class start expanding. If you look at India, China, all the countries who are developing, their middle class rose. Nobody cares about the middle class. There are a lot of charities that focus on the lower class, the disenfranchised. That is good. That's great. It's very important to do. But I believe in order to take that next step, the upper class don't need any attention. They have their own world. The lower class has a lot of attention from the international aid organizations, even within Pakistan, charities and stuff that help out. But the middle class they're on their own. When you build the core team around a startup, everybody needs to wear multiple hats. It's good to have some structure, but you cannot have that, okay, I'm the technical guy, I'm not going to get involved in sales. The company I was working with, they got acquired by another company. Unfortunately, I learned my second lesson in that startup, where I was just I didn't have any equity. So lesson number 2 is you always need to have equity, and you need to be working free for it. Whatever you do, whatever product you make, it has to be good. That's the starting point. There are a lot of products that I see that just look nice, they just kind of feel nice, but at the end of the day, what they produce, they don't produce a value, or they don't kind of create a result where a user goes like, oh my God, this is really good. When you are raising funds for your startup, you need to have skin in the game. I have seen it time and time again, where startups come in with a brilliant idea, everything is on paper. What have you done so far? No, we're going to start once you fund us, right? And entrepreneurs get upset when investors say, okay, so come back when you have something that I can see. So you don't have to create the whole machine or the whole product. You can kind of create something that the investor can see. Okay, you're dedicated to this. You thought of a creative solution. You need to show a tangible thought. From an investor standpoint, it's very important that I've seen in my life that your core team needs to be completely in sync. You don't have to be the same people. You don't have to have the same thoughts. It's good to have diversity in the thoughts, but you all need to cohesively act as a team and understand that the differences that you all bring to the table will make the company go from 0 to 1. And investors love that. That you have to think what the investor is thinking before you kind of start being defensive, or if the investor is critical about your business, you understand why. Why is he critical about your business? Instead of a lot of entrepreneurs that I've met and I see is, oh, he doesn't get it. The early investment, the first investment round, you have to make sure that it's very, very strategic. Even if you have to get a lower valuation, that's fine. But the strategy is very important to get, because though that input will be critical for you to launch, become successful. The first group of angel investors that you get in your company, make sure that they are people like you. They believe in what you're doing. They are there. They provide you strategy along with capital. Understand what the investor is looking for, and understand that are you really providing value to the investor, and also see if the investor is the rightful fit for you before you jump into raising capital. It's not fun to solve a problem when you are not when you're not in a kind of when you're in a stressful environment, in a startup. Differences of opinion are fine, but when they become overbearing, and when they kind of cross that thin line, they start impacting productivity of the team that's responsible to find a solution. Put everything on the calendar. Put all your tasks in a to-do list on a daily basis. Check them off as you go. In the night, if there's something left off, either carry it forward to the next day or try to finish it off if you can. The second thing that really helps me is to kind of keep budget your time realistically. I've realized in my life is, along with doing startups and doing this at work, your personal life is also very important, and that impacts the way you work. So if you're married and if you don't kind of give attention to your married life and the commitment that you do to your startups, right, it will suffer. Marriage is just like a startup. Your family is just like a startup. Your relationship with your brother, your mother, your siblings, your uncle, it's like a startup. Your family is a startup. Everybody has their own, everybody is a co-founder, right? They have to delegate their times. There are times you wear multiple hats, but if you don't give it time, if you don't give it attention, it's not going to grow. It's not going to become beneficial to you, and it's going to become stressful to the point where you try to disengage from it. The ideal employee or colleague is one that is hungry to learn. Every day, at the end of the day and in the night, I have to ask myself, what is something new that I learned today? The day you stop learning is the day you stop growing.